Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us here today. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm looking at the chats and everyone's joining from all over the place around Australia, around Carla. I think I was messaging you this morning. It's wonderful to have you here from Texas. Wow, it's amazing. Welcome, ladies. It's exciting to be here. Great. So maybe I should put my face up on the screen, shall we? So I can see you all. You can see me. We can connect, and then we'll get into it. It's wonderful to have this amazing opportunity, and I'm super excited to be sharing this opportunity with you because I really do know what it means to, in your life, in your career, in your relationships, and in so many ways, to be able to unlock the parts of you and share the true brilliance of you so you can really make the impact that you want. You can really fulfill your highest potential. You can contribute in ways that really matter for you, and live a life and through your career and through other parts that really lights you up, which is, a saying that I say often in my own life, and I love sharing that with women like you. So I'm super excited. I'm super grateful, and we're going to get into it now. So let me just get myself organized here and share my screen. I'm going to use some slides today, mostly because I like to really guide our conversation. And there's some key points that I'd love to share with you today so that you can get as much value as you can from the time that we have in our session together today. So, but before I do, I really just want to acknowledge you. It's Saturday morning here and Friday afternoon over in Texas. On the other side of the world. I'm not sure. We did have some people register from the UK. It might be a bit late for them, but they'll be hopefully catching the replay. So welcome wherever you are. I know it's your own time, and I really just acknowledge you for showing up. Some of you might have had to say no to some things or get some kids looked after or juggle a few things. So, put your hand up if you give me a wave if you've had to juggle a few things today to be here and say yes to you, which is amazing. And I just have to acknowledge you for that, because it does take effort sometimes. It feels like it takes effort to put ourselves at the top of the list and invest some time and energy and focus into ourselves. So well done, ladies. And I also really want to thank you, because this is a community that we have here. And I love being part of this community. I'm really grateful to be part of this community. I'm grateful that you've joined, because it's in the connections that we make with each other and the lifting of each other up that actually we get to build some momentum. We get to make some shifts within and connect and support others along the journey. And it doesn't feel so lonely then. So many times I speak to people who think that what they're dealing with is they're the only person dealing with that. And then they start to connect with other women. And we're going to do some of that today. We're going to get you into breakout rooms to just start to connect with others and know that, what you're going through is a different flavor of what somebody else is going through, but you're not alone in this. And we can do this together, because individually and collectively, we have a massive opportunity to actually make a difference in this world. And that's what I love about having women like you together, that you've stepped forward to say, yes, I want to unleash my brilliance. I want to be able to share in ways, in new levels and new ways to make a difference in this world. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Now, so I heard actually, or I saw in the chat box that we've started to really get to understand where everyone's zooming in from. It's wonderful to have such a collection of people here and diversity, and you're going to be able to connect a little bit more with some other ladies in the group in a moment. For those of you who haven't met me before, or if you haven't been on one of these sessions with me or haven't worked with me before, I'm Janine. I am a career woman myself. I'm an avid traveler. I'm passionate about learning and growing. I love sharing and connecting with other people. Absolutely. I love being part of a community like this and supporting women like you grow and succeed in your careers, whatever shade of or flavor of success that is for you. And I don't just teach this stuff, I live it. This is how my journey began, just attending a session similar to this, 8 or so years ago, to really answer some questions that I had within me, and where I am today and who I am and who I've become is actually truly liberating. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm passionate about discovering what makes us humans tick and really letting go of the stuff that weighs us down and tapping into our highest potential. Because as I said before, individually and collectively, we have a massive opportunity to make a difference. And I truly believe that this time in humanity history, where the world is at the moment, we need more women to be able to share their brilliance, give themselves permission to access it and fulfill their potential and share it with others. So I'm really happy that you're here. What we're here to do today is to dive into how you can unleash your brilliance, and we're going to cover off some key concepts that I'm going to share with you and do some work, some interactive work and sort of transformational work today on the session to help you really figure out what's in your way, what you can get past, so you can become the powerful and conscious creator of your life the way you really want it to be, your career, your business, whatever it is for you. And we're going to do 3 things. The first is to explore the number one reason that stops people from really tapping into their highest potential and fulfilling it, how you can break through it, what it is that you can be doing to help you move beyond that, and a pathway. So how you can actually become the powerful and conscious creator of your life. And I say that the powerful and conscious because we're going to explore what that means when you're not living consciously in your world and you're living from your unconscious programs. That's what we're going to explore a bit today as well. So my promise to you today, ladies, is to make this an engaging session. I'm sure we've all been on webinars that are pretty boring or death by PowerPoint. And whilst I do have a few slides, they're not jam-packed with words. They're just concepts to help guide our thinking. A lot of people process more quickly when they have an image in front of them. And they remember the image and attach the concept to it. So that's why I do things like this. I'm going to share some content with you. We're going to be interactive and get into some great breakout groups. I love bringing high energy and I love to deliver loads of value. I speak quickly, so because I want to just give you as much as I can today. I hope that you're okay with that. If you have any questions and you missed something, Tanya here, who is my amazing support crew here today, she's going to be dropping some comments in the chat box just to really reaffirm some of the points that I'm making today. If you miss anything, just drop a note in there and we'll take care of you as well. I love that you've got your cameras on today. That's really wonderful because I love to see your beautiful faces and engage with you. I've got a few screens in front of me. You'll see my head turning left or right here and there, just to make sure I can see you all and so we can connect. I ask you to keep your voices on mute, just so that we have the messages getting through there. And like I said, if you have those questions, just make sure you use the chat box for today. Can I just get a little show of hands from everyone that you're all cool with that? We're all on the same page about how we're going to make this session epic. Wonderful. Thank you. Thumbs up. Thanks, Doreen. Let's make sure you got the 3 gets. So the first get, obviously, tools. Make sure you've got something to write on and write with, because you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to take some realizations, some light bulb moments, and some actions for yourself, right? This is an investment. I really invite you to consider this time as an investment in you. And so get in the zone, right? If anything around you flashes, buzzes or beeps, just get rid of it, turn it over, put it on silent, move it away, because getting in the zone and treating this time as an investment in your future, in your joy, in your happiness, fulfillment, capability, capacity, all the things that you really want for yourself. It starts here, and how we do the little things is how we do everything. So I really invite you to get in the zone. The third get is to get in the state. Now, what does that mean? What that means is to get in the state of learning, to get in the state of contributing, to get in the state of making the most of this time together. And I've just put a note up there, the high vibe energy and participating. If you have a think about somebody who is absolutely rocking it out, tapped into their highest level of potential and their brilliance, sharing it, what are the qualities, what are the attributes of a person like that? What would they bring to a session like this? And I've got some ideas, but I invite you in the chat box just to drop it in, right? What is it that people that you know of or that you think might be fulfilling their highest potential, how would they show up today? Just drop a note in there. Just going to make sure I can see your chats. Getting in the state of learning. Yeah, that's what we're here. High vibe energy. They're participants. They're not passengers. And who doesn't love to be around people who love what they do, right? Who bring that high vibe energy, right? Who doesn't love that? High personal power, right? These people who are rocking out, living their best life, fulfilling their highest potential, they're decisive and they're action takers. They're not information gatherers. They want transformation. They've done all the information gathering. They actually do something with it. So really commit to that, ladies, that what you're learning here today, you actually want to use and you want to put into place and apply quickly, right? Honest and open. Margarita, hello. Lovely to have you here. Honest and open. That's right. You're bringing your thoughts. You're bringing your connection. When you're connecting with others, there's a vulnerability in sharing, right? Worried about what people are going to think. But people who are rocking out, doing their thing, and focused and giving their focus, actually, that absolutely, you read my mind. RJ, who's that? Robin, wonderful. They are focused, and they're focused on how they want things to be. They're not focused on their story or what's keeping them stuck. They're focused on what they're creating next. They're focused on creating, the word abundance gets thrown around a lot and the word scarcity gets thrown around a lot. It's amazing how those programs play out. We're going to talk about some of that in a moment. But they're focused on creating, for example, abundance and learning and growth rather than avoiding losing or failing, right? And they have high personal responsibility. They know if they really want this, it's up to them. So they step forward into that. So I really invite you, ladies, to step into that space today, that you are the conscious creator already of your career, your life, your business, whatever it is that you're here to do, whatever reason you showed up. And I really invite you to just give me some jazz hands or give me a thumbs up or whatever it is for you, that you are committing to this, right? This is you investing and wanting to make this epic for you today. So you have to bring it in order to receive it. Okay. Another promise that I have for you today is for those people who are loving what they're learning today, or you want to see what's next, or take another step, or explore whatever this is, what I'm sharing with you today, what this could mean for you in your career. At the end of the session, I'm going to actually invite those who want to know more onto a one-on-one call with me, and just to explore that with you, unpack it. So, what I'm sharing might not be for everybody, and I understand that, but it could be really perfect for some of you. So if you're okay with me inviting, I just ask you to give me an okay I'm going to talk about that later in the session. So that, great. Thanks, ladies. Because it's important to know that, if you want to do anything more with this, then how do you do that, right? How do you get more information and how can you explore this? So, and that will be a 30-minute strategy session. And for those who do decide that they want this, there's also, I use a lot of NLP and other techniques in my work with people, and I've recorded a session that is really focused on helping people activate their brilliance. And the key here is dissolving the emotional charges that get in the way and stop us from doing that. So the bonus audio there is available for those people who want to take up that opportunity. All right, ladies, we are going to jump straight into it. This is our first breakout group. If you're cool with this, the last session when we did these breakout groups, it was really a wonderful way for women to connect with others. So I invite you now. Tanya is just going to set up the names at the moment just to get you into breakout groups. There's 20 or so of us, so there'll be 3 or 4 ladies in each group, probably maybe 3. I'm not sure what you've got there, Tanya. But and I really invite you to, as you're connecting with others, not just introduce yourself and say where you're from, but have a think about, if you were able to make one shift, right, what would it be to help you tap into your highest potential and start fulfilling it, to truly unleash your brilliance? What would that one shift be? So have a think about that now, and we're going to spend 5 minutes chatting. So however many there are in the breakout room, just give yourself a minute or so each to share that one shift that you would love to make. Wonderful. It's lovely to have you back. And I wish I could be in all of those sessions with you and speak with you all individually. But I'm sure that you got some value out of that. Drop in the chat box. What's your biggest takeaway from speaking with others, either sharing, what it is that your shift is that you'd love to make, or what you get from connecting with others about this kind of conversation, right? Wonderful. Lovely to connect. Amazing. Amazing. Valuing priorities. Yeah. Fantastic. Beautiful, Nicole. Lovely to chat one-on-one. It is really important to actually connect with other women. I get so many messages and I speak to so many women, and that is the common theme, ladies, that empowering each other, each bringing our own unique flavor of genius, our own value to help others. It's just such an incredible feeling, valuing and prioritizing our needs and tasks at home. Yeah, saying yes to you, right? Absolutely. Took a while to understand what the shifts would be, but boils down to taking control. Yeah, great. You've got to be able to say yes to you, right? Well, I'm not here to convince anybody to say yes to you. You have to have that within you. I can show you the pathway and I can tell you all about how amazing it is and I can share with you my own journey, but there's something inside you that needs to say, it's my time. I'm ready. So I'm so glad that today is one of those days where you are ready and you put yourself at top of the list to be here today. Now, I don't know why you showed up exactly, but perhaps you've got some things going on, like, you're doing work that's not really something that you're loving and joyful about, but you really want to have that meaning and purpose. You want to feel that motivation and energy again. Or maybe you're feeling like, I want to do something that really matters. I want to make a difference and I want to be financially rewarded for it. So there's some questions and or possibly maybe some hesitations about not taking a step because you don't know if it's going to be financially rewarding for you. You don't know how to make it happen, or maybe you don't know what it is you want to do to create that meaning and purpose for you. Or maybe, you do some work currently that makes a difference, but you want to take it to the next level and you want to contribute to how our planet is and how humanity, you've got a bigger message, you're here for a bigger reason. Maybe you're feeling like you're at the plateau, you're ready for something more, you don't know what it is yet, and you're swirling around that, and maybe you've been swirling around that for a little while now, and you really want to break through and see what you're truly capable of, see what you can really contribute. Or maybe you feel like you're already kind of in doing mode, you're trying a few things and it's not working the way you want and you're not sure why. Or this last one that's really interesting, maybe you're starting to notice there's some patterns in either you, in how you are talking to yourself or behaving, or the circumstances that keep showing up. Or maybe the same sort of people keep showing up, different faces, different names, but the same sort of people that trigger you, and you're not quite sure how to deal with that. Right? And you're recognizing that's what's going on for you. And maybe you've tried a few things. Maybe you've tried doing more, adding more things to the list, or getting more qualifications or more experience or whatever, more of something, or doing something different. Try something that you haven't done, or maybe you're doing less. Maybe it's not what I should be doing more of. Maybe I should stop doing some things, or maybe I need to change me or fix a few things within me before I can get started. Or the one that breaks my heart is when people decide that they give up. Maybe I should just, resign myself to whatever it is right now and just keep going with how things are, and opting out of whatever's next for you. And so when you get to that place and you start to have these thoughts that are going on inside you, some of these swirling thoughts that can be really challenging to liberate yourself from, right? That you might feel like you're not good enough, or you don't matter, you're not important enough, you're not valued, you're not significant enough. Or then maybe you don't feel that you're capable, like you don't have what it takes, right? Or you don't feel confident, or you don't know how to influence enough. People aren't hearing what you've got to say. Your ideas aren't getting traction. Or maybe you're feeling like I've got no time, no energy, no money, no capacity, right? Yeah, you're tapped out, you're at your limit. Or, maybe this isn't the place for me. Maybe I should go find somewhere else where I fit in. Or maybe there's this fear inside you that says, I can't really say what I think. I've got these ideas or these real messages that are swirling inside me, but they seem to get, stuck at your throat. You can't quite share your true message because maybe there's some fears going on there, worried about what other people think, judgment, making a mistake. There's all sorts of things. And you're in this place now where you're feeling like you need a bit of help. And maybe it's not as desperate as the woman who looks like in this picture, but you're putting your hand up to be able to say, hey, I know whatever's I've been trying hasn't got me to where I want to be, so I need to try something different. And it's actually, whilst it might feel a bit heavy for you in that space, when you're in this confused space and you're feeling like you're a bit messy in the head about things, it's actually a great place to be, because I call this the bouncing off place. When you get to this place, you're ready for what's next, which is amazing, right? Having clarity. Yeah, that's what you want, right? You be able to have ready. Now that you've accepted that you need to try something different, you're at this place, which is amazing. So what we're going to cover off today, and we're going to start with the first of the 3 objectives that we're going to cover off today, is the number one reason that stops people from fulfilling their highest potential, right? Tapping into their genius zone. I'm going to talk about the genius zone in a minute. But the number one reason is, and to understand this a bit more, let's understand what not fulfilling your potential, not fulfilling your highest potential, unleashing your brilliance looks like. It's about people who are not failing, trying not to fail, right? Rather than focusing on succeeding. It's about people who are trying not to lose, not to make a mistake, rather than focus on, really creating something that they love and feel like they're winning in life. And this last one, it's about feeling like they're just getting through, the surviving, right? They're not actively working out how they're going to thrive, doing what they love, sharing their gifts and making a difference here, right? And not fulfilling your potential kind of feels like you're avoiding stuff, right? Avoiding your fears, avoiding losing money, avoiding losing friends, or avoiding losing status, or avoiding being judged, avoiding being rejected, right? We're in avoidance mode. We're trying to not make the mistakes. When people are tapped into their highest potential and they're fulfilling it, they're really stepping into it and shining. Those people are in a learning mode. They're in growing, they're trying, they're failing forward, right? Every failure we have is on the way, not in the way. They're expanding their capacity, they're expanding their thinking, they're expanding their comfort zone, right? They're in flow, their ideas are coming, their creativity is flowing. They're hitting their goals. They're going beyond them. They're liberating themselves from what actually has been their limits and got in their way. And they are focused on creating their dreams, right? That's what fulfilling your highest potential looks like and feels like. Imagine, just take a moment now to think about the ladder list there on the left. What would that mean for you in your life if you were in that zone and you were tapped into your potential doing all of that? Imagine what that could be for you in your life, right? Let's talk about what stops people. When I first heard this, like I said, learning this sort of stuff 7 or 8 years ago, when I came to a very pivotal point in my own career, I was a major project manager in a massive redundancy program, letting go all these people, returning them to the market, and it was soul-destroying work. Very challenging mentally and taxing physically, but soul-destroying. And I decided in that moment that I actually wanted to use my superpowers for good. I wanted to be able to give people more of what I could help them with. So when I learned that, what it was mind-blowing, because I realized actually the power is within me already. And that's what I want you to take away from today. So the number one reason that stops people is actually your identity, right? And this is who you think you are. Not who you were born as and born to be. It's who you think you are, right? Because who we think we are, our filter of our mind, that's what we've created from when we started growing up as a baby, trying to survive and fit in. The filter of our mind only allows in information, experiences, connections, situations to validate who we think we are. So if you've got one of those programs going on that you're not good enough, you're not powerful enough, you're not capable enough, you're not qualified enough, you're not significant enough, whatever, I'm going to share the 12 most common ones in a moment. If you've got something like that going on inside you, then your mind, your own mind, is only letting in information to prove that to be true. Okay? So when you have an identity that is mismatched, not congruent with your dreams, what happens is that your thoughts, right, those I am statements I just shared then, they trigger emotions in you, feelings about how you feel, and your feelings drive what meaning you give that situation and decide and help you actually decide what you should do next from that, take action from there. And the result of that produces a result that actually affirms what you believe about yourself. And let me give you an example to illustrate this. Let's take capacity. I hear from a lot of people, I don't have enough time and I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough support. And so capacity is a really big one that plays out for a lot of people. And so they go, and what happens is they have a really long list of things that they have to do. They keep adding things actually to the list to make that list longer. They take things off other people, even though you've got no capacity, or you believe you have no capacity, and you're just one of these people that hasn't got enough of whatever it is you need to be able to have the dream. Then you keep adding more things, which actually overwhelms you even more, and then exhausts you, burns you out, whatever it is, the impact on you, which actually then proves that you don't have any capacity. So it reaffirms, right? And when we start to put that mantle down, we start to realize, which is what I'm going to talk about next, how to break through. we start to see our own patterns of behavior playing out in our life that have been creating this loop for ourselves, recreating the same results over and over again in a different shade of whatever color it is for you. All right. So it's really important to understand that when you are living out of your identity beliefs in an unconscious way, you're going to just keep replicating that over your life, not tapping into your highest potential. So the 12 most common ones, and I like to use, there's so many thought leaders across the world over time, over decades, that have done work around this. And I love the work of William Whitecloud. He's put together this list of 12. So the I'm unworthy, so I don't matter, or I'm not good enough, I don't belong, don't fit in here, I need to control myself or others or my environment so I don't feel like things are freaking out here. I can't trust others. I'm always thinking somebody's out to sabotage me or to take advantage of me. I'm insignificant, invisible. I don't, nobody wants to hear from me. I don't matter. The one I just explained before, I don't have the capacity, and that's usually around your resources. Like I said, time, money, energy, gathering of resources. People feel there is a right way. So if you don't get it right, then it's doomsday. And others are, well, there is a way, right? This just the way things are. You just resign yourself to that it's out of your control, or that you're powerless, that you don't have any control. So give up. Or some people go the opposite. They try to claim the power all the time. Really try to claim, be powerful because they feel so powerless on the inside. And I've worked with many people like that before. Not allowed to be capable. So reaching that point where you feel that you're not capable enough. And it stems from the learned behavior, our learned situation from when we were young. Or I need to be perfect. Can't do anything because you have to be so perfect before you can even start, right? Rather than start in order to become perfect. So these success blockers, right? These are identity beliefs, foundational identity beliefs. And the reason I share that with you is that, we're understanding where you are right now in any of that. And obviously we're only on a 90-minute session together today. There's a lot of work to be done to really understand what these are for you and what your patterns of behavior are that plays out, that causes you to stay in that loop, reaffirming that you are unworthy or not good enough or don't have capacity, etc. But what I'd love to invite you to do right now is just have a look at that list and have a think about which ones resonate for you, right? Have a think about that right now. And I invite you now to drop into your current reality. Have a think about what your current reality is right now for you and what results you're getting right now. The reason why you showed up here today, right? What is the thinking that you have been swirling around in your mind, consciously or unconsciously, you think, that has caused you or supports you getting those results? Just take a moment now to write down what you think your thoughts are that have been contributing to getting the results you've got right now. And how does that make you feel? What emotions does that trigger in you? And what do you make that mean, right, about you? I am whatever it is. What comes after the I am statement? Or others are something or other. What does it mean others are? Maybe if you're feeling like you don't have the capability, it might mean that you think others are much more capable, or they know something you don't know, right? Or they've got the right circle of people around them to support them. And what actions has this been causing you to take to get these results, right? And then the next question to ask yourself, ladies, is what is this costing you? What are the impacts on you as a result of this kind of thinking, of having this type of identity, these identity beliefs within you? What results or outcomes have you been getting? And what has it caused you to lose or to gain? And in particular, this question is a really important one to answer for yourself. If nothing changes, if you don't reshape the thinking to get different outcomes, what is the inevitable end result for you if you keep attaching yourself to these thoughts and these emotions, these meanings? It's a really important introspective reflection to have. So we could do a whole coaching session on all of those things. And what I'm going to do now, though, is highlight the point. Why would I get you to think about what your current reality is and what are you thinking and feeling about that and what's it costing you? Because if we don't become a match, an identity match with the dreams we are calling in, with the potential, with the impact, with the influence, with the success that we really want for ourselves, if we don't become an identity match with that, then we are only going to create what our current identity says we are allowed to have. Right? It's a really important takeaway that I want people to gain, want you ladies to get out of today's session. Becoming an identity match with your dreams. Right. Let me share with you the second of the concepts that I want to take. So how to break through, right? If you're at this point where you're realizing now, okay, so I've got some things I've got to shift and let go of. I've got some of those reasons that stop me. Part of my identity is stopping me, all right? Breaking through is about how to get beyond, right? We can't keep using the same thinking, expecting we're going to achieve a different outcome. We can't keep using the same strategy or process thinking we're going to get a different result, right? We have to be able to get beyond our thinking. We have to be able to unlock and leverage our genius zone, right? And you may be wondering, okay, Janine, tell me, what's the genius zone? What is it? We've all got it. And accessing it is a natural human ability where most people are just not tapped into it. And the important part about that, if I need to share with you about what your consciousness is, how your consciousness works, for you to understand where your genius comes from, right? To do that, let me share with you, there are 4 aspects of your consciousness. And the first one is your unconscious mind, right? This is where all of your beliefs are stored. So all of those beliefs I just shared with you around the I am statements, I'm not capable, I'm not significant, I'm not good enough, but you've got some good ones in there too, right? I am worthy, you might have that worthiness in spades, which is amazing. I'm loved, I'm a good person, all of those things, right? So all of those unconscious programs are sitting in that unconscious part of your mind. Then you've got your self-conscious, which is actually, your conscious mind. This is us in conscious flow and communication right now. And this is where your willpower is, right? This is your ability to choose what you want, to be able to override some of those unconscious programs with willpower. That can feel a bit exhausting though, because it's a bit like stretching an elastic band. As soon as you let go of it, it snaps back. Setting New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year is often a good example of that. And by January or February, most people have actually not fulfilled and followed through because it's taken them willpower and they run out of steam. The third aspect of your consciousness is called your greater consciousness or your higher consciousness or your superconscious, right? There's a bunch of research out there that says that actually this is all what we have available to us before it hits our mind's filter, because there's a whole heap of information out there, right? And we have connection to it. We are beings of energy, and science tells us this, right? At the infinitesimal level, we are energy. And energy turns into matter, obviously, which is why you can see and feel and touch your body. But your energy field is so much greater than the limits of your skin, right? And who you are as a being is actually a being of consciousness. Your mind doesn't sit in your brain. The brain is an organ. Your mind is greater than that. So what we have to do is to be able to tap into what information we have access to us before it hits that unconscious filter that only lets in what we want, what our mind says that we're allowed to have to prove our current beliefs to be true. All 3 of those aspects of your consciousness feeds your subconscious. And whatever your subconscious mind receives, it says yes to and then delivers that result. So if you are living out of your unconscious mind, you're living out of that set of beliefs and you don't even know it, or you're not aware of it, or you don't have a depth of awareness of it, you've only got a little sprinkling of awareness of it, you're living out of your unconscious mind. You're living in symptoms show up like stress, anxiety, because you're trying to avoid your fears, or living in fear. You do the self-sabotaging actions. You almost get to achieve the goal you want, and then you do something to muck yourself up and snap yourself back and prove that you don't deserve it, or you're not good enough, you're not capable, you don't have the capacity, etc. Burnout is a very common one, especially for the high achievers who think they're not good enough and they go from one great achievement to the next, never feeling like enough is enough. Or people pleasing, doing everything for everyone else and never putting yourself on the list or saying yes to, finding it difficult to say yes to you. So when you're living out of your unconscious programs, that's what's showing up in your life. When you're living from your, tapping into your genius zone, you're tapped into your greater consciousness, you're in a state of flow, you've got ideas coming, you've got creativity, you've got inspiration, motivation, energy, you're feeling in alignment with who you really are. You've got the joy, the buzz going on for you. You're feeling like this is how you want it to be, right? This is in alignment with your truth, who you really are, and what you actually have available to you. As a human, you all have the ability to be able to tap into your greater consciousness. And teaching you how to do that is totally learnable. I've got to tell you that. It's not some trick, actually. It's actually totally learnable. It is a capacity that every single human has the potential for. We've just got to be able to know how to do it and know how to receive it and use it, right? So your consciousness is really powerful. What I'd love to invite you to do now is another point of reflection. This is just on you rather than the groups just yet. But just take a moment now to have a think about. Imagine you are already, like the person we talked about at the beginning of this session, tapped into your fullest potential, unleashed your brilliance already in flow. Imagine you're living that life. What would that mean for you? And what would that give for you in your life? So what are some of the things that you would be doing? Just drop some of those notes down in your notebook right now and think about how you could be, living. What outcomes would you have? What results? How would you be living in your own life? How would you be connecting with others? And, what could you give? What would this mean for your loved ones? And what would this mean for the people who need your flavor of brilliance? All right. Just take a moment now to share that. And I'd love to hear in the chat box, if anyone wants to share that, to drop a note in what would be something incredible that it would give you or that you'd be able to give through tapping into your genius zone. Great. Amazing. All right. So let me share with you the third concept that I want to, that we're here to talk about today. The third is, we've talked about what the number one reason that stops you, it's your identity beliefs. We've talked about how to break through. This is about getting beyond your limiting beliefs, getting out of and becoming deeply aware of what your programs are that stop you and block you so that you can shift beyond them and access your genius zone and get into a state of flow and creativity and start creating that path of alignment for you. Now, this third one is the pathway, the steps to do it, right? This is how to actually become powerful and conscious in your life and actually create the kind of life that you really want. Because the truth is, right, we all want that. We would all love to live the dream. LTD, someone said that to me, LTD, Janine, living the dream. Like, yeah, who doesn't want that, right? Who does not want, show of hands, who can say, no, sorry, don't want to live the dream, don't want to have an awesome, epic life, living my fullest potential, right? Who could say no to that? Nobody would, right? We'd all love that. It's amazing. It feels incredible when you're actually in flow. Actually, I'd love to know if you can drop it in the chat box. Has anyone ever experienced that state of flow? Have you got an experience of that? Just give me a yes if you've done that. Give me a 1 or a 2 or whatever it is, what number, just to let me know that you've actually experienced a state of flow before. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I know I have, and it just feels epic. Yeah, Carla, Nicole, great. Wonderful. It's true, right? When you are able to tap into that flow, that idea zone and create from that space, that level of energy, it feels incredible, right? So there are 3 phases to get you from where you are now, feeling like, oh, okay, I've created whatever results I've got right now for myself, because there's a part of you, there is a part of you who wants this dream, there's also been a part of you that's been wanting to get the results you've got right now, because that's what you've got. You've created, whilst you're, this might be a tension inside you going, hang on, Janine, no, I don't want what I've got right now. I want what the dream. There's actually a part of you in your identity that has been saying, yes, I want that kind of result. And that's the belief systems that are sitting in your unconscious mind that are causing you to create that result. So to get you from where you are now, the 3 phases are, the first is the revelation phase, right? This is about revealing what the misalignment is, what it is that's caused you to get to this crossroads, what it is that blocks you and stops you. So you get a high level of awareness, a deep level of awareness, I should say, about your programs, and not just what they are, right? Because I've given you a list of what they are. But the key and the power here comes in when you understand the patterns of your life, how they play out. And when you do the work to unpack that, you can shine a light on that. It's like shining a light in the dark. You vaporize the shadow, right? So it's really important when you move from misalignment into alignment, you have absolute clarity about your pathway of alignment and what your purpose is and how you want to fulfill your potential. The second phase is, once you know that about yourself and you're equipping yourself to how to recognize and move beyond, then it's tapping into your genius zone, getting past the hit and miss strategies that cause you to keep replicating or sabotaging yourself or yo-yoing results. I talk about yo-yoing results because it's like you have, sometimes you try really hard, you get some level of success, but maybe you hit a plateau or things swing back to the stress state again. Or, you feel like you're going backwards and forwards in your results. But you want to have some consistency. You want to have certainty about what the pathway is. You want to be able to do it in a way that gives you the certainty. So follow some steps that you know what steps you're actually taking. And you want to be that powerful creator who knows how to focus your or orient your focus on your way and place your power to create, that actually helps you create your dreams in a way that feels effortless, right? It doesn't feel like it's hard slog and that you're constantly using willpower. It becomes fun. It becomes the flow, step into flow. And then the third phase is how to actually get yourself out there. So it's once you've, worked out what's been stopping you and blocking you, and then you move into this, I'm going to ideate what I really want, really create my dreams here. Then you've got to be able to turn the dreams into reality by action, taking action, powerful, aligned action. And at this point, this is where the challenges come up for a lot of people, right? That stops them and they swing back to, being stuck because their ego or your identity beliefs pop up and says, no, you cannot have that. You are not worthy of that result. You don't deserve that. You're not good enough for that. You're not capable. You don't have enough time. You don't have the money, whatever it is, right? Pops up and says, no, you can't have it. And that's self-sabotage. So you've got to be able to not just start to take action, you've got to keep taking action. And the key here is to be able to recognize and release and reorient your focus. So recognize your beliefs or your patterns of behavior when they show up, release them, right? Having the techniques and the tools in your back pocket that helps you dissolve the emotional charge that those old programs keep bringing up for you and allow you to move beyond them, right? Reorienting your focus on your dreams. So having tools and practices that help you do that daily. And it is a practice. This type of work, ladies, is not a once-off set and forget. This is a choice to actually become conscious and powerful as you create your life. It's a journey. I'm not here to tell you it's a one fix, take the red pill or whatever it is and you're done, you're all good, or just do this thing and you're going to be okay, right? This is about cultivating a practice that actually empowers you so that, which is part of my purpose, right? I don't want to be the coach that keeps having people come back and depend on me. I empower women. I really want you ladies to understand that you totally can learn this and you can do this for yourself and keep going. Because whatever stage you're at in your career, in your life, in your business, as soon as you achieve that next level that you've set for yourself, that next horizon of dream, you're going to want more. You're going to want more of whatever it is that you've been achieving and creating for yourself because it feels epic and you want to keep creating from that space. So having the tools and the system in your back pocket to keep using them, bringing you towards your dreams is a really important takeaway here. So how to do that, as well as a pathway, those 3 phases is what I said, what I've shared with you are the steps to do it, right? And this is where the magic comes in. Becoming magnetic, right? This is about you becoming a match, identity match with your dreams. How do you do that? And some people may call it manifestation or affirmations or whatever. It's not trickery, it's science. people, energy attracts like energy, right? How many people do you know in your life that you are connected with and you love being around because you have an attraction there, a like with like, right? So it's really important to understand that your energy, your identity needs to be a match with what you are calling into your life. And how to do that is, the first is to access your genius zone. And what this means is that you get to access your true potential, what your ideas and creativity are, rather than living out of your unconscious programs and, you know, the push and the struggle and the hustle, creating something that's not completely in alignment with who you are, so that you get to discover that path of alignment. You get to make choices that are actually in true alignment with who you really are, not who you will learn to be, or you're told to be, expected to be, taught to be, right? This is actually the true you. So it's uncovering that, discovering your true self, and then choosing your path in alignment. The second is to choose to be your highest self every day, right? Stepping into that path, that stepping forward towards your dreams and becoming that highest version of you. So recognizing those programs when they come up, allowing yourself to move beyond them, releasing yourself from the hold that those old programs have had on you and perhaps caused a level of pain or discomfort or lack of results that you've been achieving so far in your life. The third key is to believe, right? Step into that end result, feel it fully, see it in your mind, and believe it is true for you. If you don't have a true belief that that is true for you and available to you, right? Accept it is not just true for you, but is it available to you now? And whatever resistance comes up, that is the work, ladies. That is what needs to be released and dissolved so you can keep moving forward and progressing with action, taking powerful aligned action to realize, materialize the results that you really want. And when you create, when you create your life from that space, that's when you become magnetic. That's when the right connections seem to show up. That's when you start to get ideas about, oh, I could be doing something like this, or some other idea of inspiration flows to you. Excuse me, doing a lot of talking. When you're creating from that space, you're feeling like life is happening for you, not to you. So I'd love to just take a pause now, apart from I'm going to get a drink of water. But for you to be able to, ladies, to have a think about what this means for you, right? What this means for you in your life. Have you been, or do you feel you are a match with the future that you really want for yourself? Excuse me, ladies. And you have you got are you in sync with your dreams, with the kind of success you want, with you unleashing your brilliance, or have you got limits? Have you got those thoughts going on inside you that says, no, you can't, you're not good enough, right? Whatever it is. So it's really important to understand that you become a match with your dreams. So this is the same system, ladies, that I have been using, obviously, in my own life. There wasn't something like this available to me that helped me really get clear on when I was at this crossroads in my career, there wasn't a system out there or a coach out there that had some steps available to me that said, not only can you help me in my career choices, but can you help me let go of the stuff that caused the problems for me in the first place, right? So, and I share this beautiful image of all these amazing women who are here, many of the women, many more of the women too, obviously, but these amazing women who have been on the journey before you and accepted that they needed to try something or do something different, and they needed to shift some things within to be able to create different results that they want in their life. And now I want to take a moment to do some more reflection, ladies, and focus on you. Just take your pen and give yourself a traffic light assessment of these three phases, and the identity match piece, right, where the magic happens. The three phases. What would you say, how you're doing? Are you a green, like absolutely in total alignment? Everything's as I want it to be. Everything is happening in flow, and I'm tapped into my genius zone. I'm really loving how I'm journeying through this career and my life and who I am on the way? Or are you at the other end of the spectrum in the red zone, feeling like, I don't have clarity. I certainly don't have certainty about where I'm headed and how I'm going to make it happen. And I don't have the confidence in myself, right? If you're in the red zone, or amber is somewhere in between, okay? Just give yourself a traffic light for what's going on for you, and start to just make a note about, how committed are you for you to creating your dream life, to fully unleashing your brilliance, to fully stepping into your potential and creating the kind of life that you would really love to have. Give yourself a number out of 10. I really like to ask this question, and I ask it of every person I get on a phone call with, because your level of commitment for what you really want for yourself, even if you don't know all the details yet, but you want to live the dream, right? Just write down that number. And it does send a message to your subconscious mind, right? The 10 out of 10s showing up, the 9s and 10s fully committed, right? Those are the people who really want it. If you're a 6 or a 7, you're thinking, oh, yeah, maybe I might want it, then, and that's okay. Maybe you're not ready yet, okay? But it's really important to ask yourself that question. Am I committed to creating this for myself, to figuring out what it is that I want, to really letting go of what stops me from tapping into my full potential and living my full potential, to bringing my shade of brilliance, my flavor of brilliance to the world and making a difference. Okay. Like so many other ladies, I'm not going to go into all the stories of all these women. You can visit my website to read up on a lot of testimonials and stories about a bunch of other women who have gone the path before you, women who have recognized and who have liberated themselves from whatever it is that they had blocking and stopping them, and defined a path forward that was in alignment with their true self, and actually move forward into that to be able to live the kind of life that they really want, to create the kind of career, the kind of business that they really want, to make the impact that they really want. What I've shared with you, ladies, is this path, right? We've talked about those 3 key aspects today. The number 1 reason, how to break through, and the pathway to become the powerful and conscious creator of your life. I guess what it brings me to now is just to summarize, what we've covered off today. And we're going to break out into breakout sessions in just a moment. I'm sure Tanya's going to get that ready for us in a moment, just to really concretize whatever it is that you are taking away from today. Because, if we learn and we don't apply, then you may as well have not done the learning, right? That's just more information gathering. But like I said, people who are rocking out, fully tapped into their highest potential, fully tapped into, living their best life, is how to, those people are learning and applying, right? They're doing something with it. They want transformation. Not sure how to unlock yet. Yeah, okay, that's right, Paula, that there is a process to do that, to unlock your genius zone and to tap into that and get that flow of ideas happening. And like I said, there's so much more I could be sharing with you than what I can fit into 90 minutes in a session today. And I'll share with you more about how you can do that in a moment. So the lessons we've covered, the number 1 reason, your identity beliefs. If you don't have a deep understanding of what they are for you, now is the time, ladies, because that's the blocker, right? Like I said, if you are not a match, your identity believes one thing, that you're not capable, not worthy, not powerful enough, whatever it is. If your identity believes that at an unconscious level, that is what you are creating in your life. Until you get beyond it and tap into how you want things to be and equip yourself with the skills and resources to be able to do that in a practice every day, you're going to keep living out of your unconscious beliefs. The second thing we've covered off today, the second lesson, is how to fulfill your potential, which is, like I said, accessing that genius zone. So the levels of creativity that people have, right? Levels of creativity that get you to the genius zone. If you ever think about people who are tapped into their genius zone, think of the likes of Oprah Winfrey. She has just been at the forefront of her space, her area of expertise for decades now. Amazing. Think about J.K. Rowling. I mean, she was, I think, a single mum and on the brink of being bankrupt. And she tapped into her genius zone and this absolute flow of information inspired her and informed her how to write the Harry Potter series, right? A series like that had not been written like that before. And the pathway, the steps to be able to say, okay, well, how do I realize what my identity beliefs are and what's blocking and stopping me? How do I tap into what my path of alignment is? How do I learn whatever those skills are that helps me access my genius zone and equip myself to turn it into action, giving myself a plan and getting myself out there? And then how do I do it? How do I actually take the action, the powerful aligned action, and allow myself to keep moving, even though those identity beliefs that are buried in my subconscious are going to keep trying to pop up and stop me and block me, right? How do I keep moving even though they're there? So those are the three things we've covered today. What I would really ask you is, now that you know that this is possible, that there is a way to be able to do this for yourself, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do with this information? Asking yourself that level of commitment. What was the number out of 10? I'd love to know, actually. If any of you can drop it in, if you'd like to share with me, what number did you give yourself out of 10? Do you really want to actually fulfill your highest potential, right? Do you really want this? 10s. I love it. I love it. 10s. Yes. Commit to you. Great. Robin and Nicole. What about the rest of you ladies? Where are you at? What would you really love? Right? 9s. Amazing. Love it. 9s and 10s. That's what we need, right? This is a commitment to you. This isn't a commitment to anyone else. Melinda, Melly, amazing. Lena, fantastic. 10s, ladies. We deserve this, right? And not just we deserve this, but the people who need your shade of brilliance, they need this, right? And like I said, I truly believe that our world needs more women in leadership, in those roles of influence, out there doing their thing, in entrepreneurial ways, creating a way, and not just for the impact that you can bring to your world and those people who you connect with now, but it's the next generation, right? What are we showing others? If you have kids, whether they're girls or boys, that you actually can fully tap into your highest potential. You can be whoever you want to be. It doesn't matter what you learned you were meant to be, or you thought you were, or you're taught to be or told to be. It doesn't matter. You don't have to resolve that anymore. You don't have to try and do things to prove that they're not true, or to make yourself feel better because those belief systems were embedded in you, or you adopted those or created those for yourself all those years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. Knowing them, that they're there, recognizing them when they're at play, liberating yourself from them, dissolving the emotional charge that they create for you, and then reorienting your focus on your dreams, your true choices, and tapping into that flow of creativity and inspiration and energy, and then taking action from that place is where the power is, right? That's where the magic happens. Absolutely. Love it. So the line in the sand, ladies, you can either keep doing things the old way or the way you have been, right? Or you can choose to master your personal and professional success, right? There is a line in the sand. Once you know this, you can't unknow it. I've shared it with you now. You know this stuff, right? You know it's possible to get beyond your limits and tap into your highest potential. Tanya has, I think, organised the breakout rooms to pop you back into those breakout rooms. And in that breakout room, before you decide what you're going to do next, have a think about it. Discuss it with the other person in the room with you and write your actions down. What are you learning? What are you loving? And what is your action or actions that you are taking from today? What are you going to do with this now that you know this, right? You know this is available to you. As you're coming back into the room, I would love to hear in the chat box, if you just drop in the chat box, what was your takeaway from today? What's the one action that you really would love to take from what you've loved and learned today? Or if there's an insight, what you've learned or what you've loved, drop that in the chat box too. I'd love to hear. Lovely connection. I love connecting. I love it that you ladies are doing that too. It's really important, I think, connecting. So yeah, just drop it in the chat box. What's your takeaway from today? Aware, the one things to make the genius. Yeah, that's right. Connecting in with your flow. Yeah, absolutely, Robin. Putting self first, saying yes to you, Doreen. It starts there. I love it. I love it. Putting yourself first. That's exactly right. Absolutely. So it's really wonderful. Whatever the takeaways were for you, ladies, Like I said at the beginning, I don't know why it is that you showed up today. Maybe you're feeling stuck or overlooked, or maybe you're really feeling like you're ready for more, you're ready to grow, ready to take it to the next level, or you don't know what that is just yet, or how you're going to do it, or maybe you're really seeking more meaning and purpose, or feeling like whatever's been happening, you're at that point now that things aren't quite in sync with who you really are, and you want to create that alignment, which is so beautiful. And to do that, it's actually really getting clear on who you really are, not who you learned to be or taught to be or told to be. Chloe, I love it. 10 out of 10. Amazing. Rebecca, I'm sorry, I'm just reading chats as well. Conscious and changing my energy. Yes, Rebecca, that's exactly it. And reacted. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Step into your higher self, ladies. Learn and get the support you need to let go of the stuff that stops you and step into your power, because that is how you unleash your brilliance. Now that you know this, you are at a fork in the road, right? This is your decision point. You can either keep doing what you've been doing, which has caused you to feel those feelings of being stuck or at a plateau or not sure, or unsure of what's next, or not feeling like you've got what it takes or whatever to make it happen. Or you can take the other path, the less arduous, clearly, the one that allows you to step into flow and do it in a systematic way, tap into your highest potential and really start loving the kind of life that you have. The only obvious question I would suggest right now that you've got going on is, okay, how do I do it? And that's, as I said before, I'd love to share more with you about that, because, it is a choice, ladies. Having the kind of life that you really want is not luck at all. It is a choice. It is a choice to say yes to me, as in you say yes to you. I say yes to me every day. It's a choice to choose it, choose you, choose your dreams, choose the action you're going to take next. And it's the choice of getting the support and help and the system that you need to help you make that happen. So what I'd love to do right now, as I mentioned before, is invite you to book a call with me. Like I said, if you're okay with this, inviting you now, for those of you who don't need it, that's okay. For those of you who feel this is really what you need right now, to explore more deeply what this opportunity could be for you, to be able to unlock your genius, to be able to access it, tap into it, leverage it, create your life from that space, to really be able to see what you're truly capable of, to give yourself permission to shine, to step forward into a path of alignment with you, and to start sharing it and getting it out there into the world, right? Absolutely, it is our choice. So what I'd love to do right now, I think Tanya is just dropping into the chat box a link, which is a call link to my calendar. And I've left a few spots open, I think some later today and over the next few days, to connect with you ladies, to explore this more deeply with you. And as I said earlier, this is not for everyone. And for those people who it's not for, if you are just information gathering, if you just want another bit of information, or a book or whatever, a course, a program to sit on your shelf and not apply, it's not for you. If you are feeling like you're not ready to learn, or you don't want to learn any more than you've already got, you want to keep getting the results you've already got, then also not for you. If you think people are who they are and they cannot change and grow, then, like I said, this journey is probably not for you either. And if you're happy with how things are and you want to stay the same, cool, do that. I'm happy for you. Go on that journey. Please don't take one of the spots in my calendar, because this is for women who, the reason I built this system, like I said, this was me 8 years ago, not knowing what I wanted to do, but knowing whatever I had going on was not what I wanted more of. And it wasn't just in my career, I've got to say, ladies, it was in every area of my world. My marriage was struggling and in a bad place. My health was in a really bad place. My career, whilst on the surface of it, it looked like somebody else's really awesome career. On the inside, I was crumbling and really at a loss. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. And I had a 6-month-old and a 2.5-year-old little boys that needed the best mummy that could take care of them, and I felt like I wasn't even able to take care of myself at that time. So it was a life crashing in on me moment. And so I built this, I created this for myself. I knew I needed to figure it out. I knew I needed to shift some stuff within me, and I knew I needed a pathway. And when I created this, and I've been doing this now for a long time, and to be able to share this and to have helped so many women along the way, whether it's just in a course, a session like this with me, or on a call with me, or you actually come work with me. This is what my joy is my mission in life, to live my best life, because I've got that 10 out of 10 commitment. I had to ask myself that back then, in that 7 or 8 years ago, and I definitely said, yes, I deserve this. I really want the 10 out of 10 life, and I'm committed to creating it. And I've been doing that over and over, and new levels of success, which is absolutely incredible. And to be able to share that with other women, it's so empowering. So this call that I've shared with, this invitation to have a call with me, on the call, just to explain that a little bit more, on the call, we are going to dive into where you are at, right? Understand what's working for you, what's not, what needs to shift. What is the number one success blocker for you? What do you need to let go of? And what help do you need to be able to do that, to get beyond? What's the possible 90-day plan for you that you could actually, let go of the things that are holding you back, step into your brilliance, unleash your brilliance, and truly shine in your life? And then also look at what ways that we can accelerate that for you, right? How can you make this happen quicker? Some people are happy to take, a more steady, slower pace. Other people want it now, right? They're tired. They're at a point where they really need to get beyond. So if that's you, then now is the time. If you are serious about creating this for yourself, I absolutely invite you now to book the call with me. Like I said, there are only a few spots. I'm checking the chat box as we go. So now is the time, ladies, serious about creating a new level of success for you. Even if you're curious about it and you want to know more, now is the time to take one of these sessions. They're 30 minutes together with me. And if you're ready to grow and evolve, if you're ready to open up the next chapter, but you're not sure what it is and you'd like some help getting some clarity and certainty around that, obviously I can see on the call that most of you ladies have probably been in your career for some time now, a few years at least. And, there's probably some responsibilities that you have in your life. And so avoiding making a mistake, avoiding taking a path, or wasting any more time or energy doing something or creating change for change's sake. If you don't know what that change is going to mean for you in your life and how to bring certainty, I can understand why that can feel a hesitation and make people spin their wheels. But if you're ready now to explore what the possibilities are for you, then, and you're 100% committed to, you're one of those ladies who's saying, yes, I want a 10 out of 10, I'm committed to me, then this opportunity is for you. So just click the link. I think, Tanya, if we've dropped that in, we have dropped that in the chat box there. Fantastic. For the ladies who are booking the calls, I think last time we ran out of spots. So I've opened up a few more spots this time, ladies. And if there is a time in the calendar that doesn't work for you, that you want another time that's not there for you, then by all means, just make sure that you let me know that we can actually open up another spot for you. So just to recap, what we'll dive into is exploring where you're at, making sure we uncover your number one success blocker to let go of, so you can bring your, shine the spotlight in the darkness and get rid of the shadows, so you know what it is you're dealing with and you can actually move beyond. And then a pathway to actually move beyond that. And then, making sure that you have a system available to you. Like I said, this takes you from where things are now to start living your dream life, actually fully tapping into your highest potential, fully being able to share your brilliance. Because, ladies, our world really does need the brilliance of women like you, whether you believe it or not at the moment. If you have a look around you, there are so many women taking the stage now. Whether you want to be up the front on the stage or in a space in your career, in your field, to be able to make some true impact and change, whatever the industry you're in, this journey works. The kind of clients that I've been working with are everyone from, process safety experts and authors and international speakers, people on the international stage speaking and helping other people speak on stage, coaches, engineers, marketing specialists, brand specialists, all varieties of people who are out there sharing their shade, their flavour of brilliance, really. And it starts with committing to saying yes to you, that you want to actually create something like this for yourself, your version of success, whatever it is for you. So I'm mindful of time now. Now is the time. If there are questions that if you've, you've been on this call with me, and if you haven't booked a call and you're still wondering, is this for you? You've stuck around with me the whole nearly 90 minutes together. I've got to ask why. What is it that's stopping you from saying, yes, I want to be able to explore how I can have this for myself, right? Something really important, no doubt, called you to come and have this session with me today, to show up today, to figure out how to unleash your brilliance. And I'm sure that reason is really important. Whatever's going on for you in your life, something called you to be curious about this. If you're not stepping forward into that to be able to find out how you can tap into your full potential and start creating the kind of career and life that you would love, then think about what that is, right? What is stopping and blocking you, right? That is itself sabotage in itself, right? That we think we really want the life, and then we go and allow our unconscious programs to govern what it is we do next, okay? So, if we're letting ourselves do that, then we're continuing to live from those unconscious programs, and we're continuing to be the person who we were taught to be, told to be, expected to be, what's acceptable. So, it's really a valuable insight to be able to understand that about yourself, because what's in the way, what's blocking you is the way. That's the stuff we have to dissolve, get rid of, release you from, so you can step forward into your brilliance. So whatever it is you want to create for yourself, whether you want to step into leadership, or you are in leadership and you want to take your impact more broadly, whether you want to, use your skills, your expertise and become the authority and the expert, or whether you want to step out and, from being an employee to an entrepreneur, or whether you are an entrepreneur and things aren't going the way you want it to be, and you really want to be able to take it to the next level, or shape your path forward to be one of true alignment, this opportunity is for you. And I would just love to explore that with you and figure out, are you going to be our next success story, right? Are you going to be one of these ladies who have stepped forward, claimed it for themselves, and living and loving their life, their career, and making an impact that really matters in this world? So, ladies, do I have any questions there? I haven't, I've lost the chat box there. There we go. There are questions there. Any questions, lady? No, I don't think so. I think, have I answered everything from everybody? If anyone does have a question, I'd be more than happy to have you take yourself off mute and ask me the question. Now is the time, because I would love to explore that with you and help you shine in your life, in your career, create the kind of impact that you really want, unleash your true potential, tap into your highest human potential, and start creating some magic in your world, ladies.
Jen and I have a question. Hi, I'm Bella from Melbourne. I just have a question here that, despite, loved your slides, by the way, and all the reassurance that you gave us. Probably, I think, just on the word, personally, I'll talk about myself, is that we realize this and we are on the path. We got the reassurance with this, but sometimes, sorry for the noise, I'm still getting from my team's messages from some colleague.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sometimes when you, as you said, to be into the leadership, you are, and you have some sort of success, but you need to take it to the next level where you don't know how to further influence. You've reached a plateau. But then again, there's so many things around you, which, despite being yourself and fully committed, the things run in the businesses with a lot of power play. You really, there's so many things which you cannot just, despite what you try, there's a big power play. You work in the men's world. You are just a small percentage of, I don't know about others, but in the industry I work in, it is like that. And sometimes you need that. I know we always talk about influence without having the authority. But at the same time, when you work in such a big corporates where there's 50, 60,000 employees, and to make an impact, it can be really challenging. It comes down to power play. You can't have access to all the things. You need the tools as well. And you just can't get that every time. So how do you deal
what I
with
love
it?
about
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I love about what you're sharing is the impact and influence of your environment, right? When we feel like we are powerless because of our environment, that is a belief, right? I do understand my background before working in this career coaching space. It was in oil and gas, mining, construction. I was most of my whole career the only woman at the table in the room, right?
Yeah.
And it's challenging. I do not deny that, because there are very tricky challenges that you have with difficult characters. However, what I really must say is what you've shared and highlighted to me in expressing your challenge is there are beliefs that you have about how things are out there, and that's just how they are, right? And that is actually what I was saying before. It's one of those 12 lists that on the list of 12 success blockers, when we resign ourselves to accepting that that's just how it is, and then we stop ourselves in our tracks, right? When we resign ourselves to that other people have more power than us, again, a belief system that stops us in our tracks. Influence is a strategy. I've got to share that with you. That's a lot of work that I do with people. I do a lot of profiling work, human behavior profiling work, and influence is absolutely a strategy. And when you know your own human behavior and all the nuances of it, and you learn a way to be able to read and understand the human behavior of others and then use the right language, it's like tuning into a radio frequency, their radio frequency, right? Most people are walking around their workplaces in their radio frequency, expecting that somebody else is going to hear them, but they're tuned into a different channel.
I know.
You think I'm on 97.5 and you're on 101 or whatever it is, right? Different channels, because we're different. But when we understand that, influence is a strategy. It's absolutely learnable. I do a lot of work with people because especially at senior levels of leadership and people who, and most of my clients are women, breaking through to be able to have that influence so that their ideas get traction, they become the sought after asset, and that gender doesn't have a play anymore, right? Absolutely, it is a strategy that is learnable. I have to share that with you. And what I highlighted before is our belief systems stop us from accessing how to do that with power. And it's not a masculine power. You can leverage your feminine power. And within us all, right, there's masculine and feminine energy in every single one of us. The feminine energy is the nurturing, the caring, the consideration, the connection, the collaboration.
Yeah. So
masculine energy is the doer, the fixer. Yes, Bella, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's exactly some sort of situation where it's not about getting that masculine, or I think the feminine has their own things to bring in. But what I have experienced so far is that, that nurturing, sharing, caring, and a doer, at times it is being welcomed at the start, but when it starts to bring the results is where things get really, because you're constantly dealing with and you sometimes get that loss of confidence and I can tell you, I have actually really had a point or a moment in the past few months is that I actually started hating being a woman, because how could I be so good when the surroundings around you are not? And why just
I'd love to explore that. I'd love to explore that with you, Bella. I think that what you're sharing with me is absolutely around tapping into your own human behavior, understanding where and when to apply it and how it's been, and your belief systems and how they've been playing out for you. Because like I said, ladies, the majority of the results that you'll get in your life, in your career, in your relationships, in your health, your wealth, start with how your belief systems are and what you do from that place. It causes you to think a certain way, feel a certain way, give meaning to situations that you have described them to be, and take action from that place. And the only consequence of that, the inevitable consequence of that, is you're going to keep replicating the results that you've already had. Okay. Is anyone else? Thanks, Bella, for that question and conversation. Anyone else got any questions or about what I've shared today that you'd like to explore? No? All right, then. I'd love to, like I said, I'm not sure how many, I haven't checked my calendar yet, how many of you ladies have booked a call with me. But I'd love to just give you, I guess, like one last opportunity if we have for people to do that. Loved it. Thanks, Lena. Amazing. It's been wonderful spending this morning with you ladies and afternoon for, I think Carla might be still there. Maybe she's gone. But it's been really wonderful actually sharing this information with you. And, you know, the reason why I do this, I live this myself, is because this kind of information is really powerful. And when you know it, when you understand it, I do these sessions for free because people just need to know this stuff about themselves. They need to know that it is actually predominantly your belief systems that stop you from having the kind of success that you really want in your career. And when you know that, and when you step forward to do something about revealing what they are for you, so you can shine a light in those shadows and vaporize the shadows, when you can liberate yourself from that, when you can step into, in a systematic way, to be able to create the kind of life that you really want, consciously choosing it, creating it, accessing your genius zone, that flow of creativity, that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to actually have what you want, right? Create what you want. And if we keep telling ourselves, but the system's broken and it's up to other people to change or things to get better before we can have what we want, you're going to keep living in a cage, essentially. Right? So you've got the key, ladies. I'd love to open the lock with you. It's been wonderful having you here. I would love for you to just give us a jazz hands or shakes or whatever it is, just to say thank you to being here with each other, giving time to each other and being of service. I'm really loved our time together, ladies. I'm grateful that you showed up today and that you've been with me for this session. I'll end the session there. It's great to meet you all. Thanks, ladies. Lovely. Thanks, Chloe. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you.
Melinda.